Welcome to the Village of Buchanan Board of Trustees meeting of Tuesday, September 6th, 2022. Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you, everyone, also for the well wishes on my recovery from COVID. I have tested negative. I'm wearing a mask just to be on the extra safe side. Now, would I give you COVID? Never.
I tried.
I know, you should. So first, we're going to start with approval of the minutes of July 26, 2022 workshop meeting. Any comments? Corrections, nothing? Okay, make a motion to approve those minutes.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
August 2nd, 2022 board meeting. Any comments, questions, corrections? Nothing? Okay, on a motion to approve those minutes.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
The next is comments from the floor, agenda items only. Any comments? Yes, sir.
Mike.
Yeah, come on up, Nick.
Well, I don't know who's on the agenda or when it's on the agenda, but I did see on a meeting that I watched that there's a proposal to change the lot coverage. And is that something I can comment on now, or should I come back to the workshop for that?
Come back to the workshop because that's not on our agenda tonight. There's a few other things that are going
Yep.
to be.
Good, thanks.
Okay, all right, thanks, Nick. All right, under new business, we have the sludge removal contract. We have with us this evening our village engineer, George Palmer. George, would you like to explain or comment on I know it's something we do every year.
Yes, good evening, Mayor, trustees. Can you hear me? Okay. Yes, this contract was actually renewed last year because we actually bid it 2 years prior. There's a clause in there, if the prices are good, the village can re-up the contract another year. So
That's what it sounds like.
Nancy, just mute yourself for a minute.
I'm leaving the one, hold on. There. I can't get my visual or audio to work on my computer, so I'm just doing it on my phone.
Okay.
We see you.
Sorry.
So it was coming due. So we put it out to bid. Cook is the apparent low bidder, is the only bidder. And we have 2.2 million gallons of sludge. And the same caveat is in there where if you like the price, you can up it for another year. And it was 261,800. And it's on the agenda to be approved tonight.
Right. And George, just to, because not everybody knows how our sewer treatment plant works, but the sludge is the end process of our sewer treatment plant.
Correct. There's
One of the end processes.
one of the end processes. One is the filtered water, which is the effluent, which goes out to the Hudson, and the other byproduct is the sludge, which we generate roughly 80 to 85,000 a month, and we put that out to bid every year.
Okay, good. Thank you. So, on a motion to award the sludge removal contract, can I have a second
Second.
on a question? All in favor?
Aye.
And George, we're gonna have a discussion on the wastewater plant, treatment plant.
Sure. So I know the village is in the process of reviewing the IMA. As we know, so you've asked for an update. And at the workshop, we went through a history with the board, how old the plant is, population served, some upgrades over the years. And the closing of the plant. We went through the operations, current operations. We're at 216,000 gallons a month. Our efficiency for BOD and suspended solids is at 98%. As I mentioned a minute ago, that's 85,000 gallons of waste sludge every month. And we also went through a consent. As part of that consent, we had to do an engineer's report and a sewer system, collection system evaluation. The product of that was, we made a submission to the health department. And that submission was for just doing the fine bubble diffusion system. It didn't include the tank at the time, replacing the tank at the time. That came after, when Entergy money became available with the $7 million. Replacement is always better than a repair, but sometimes repairs are adequate and they carry you through next periods of time. So in this case, we went through and to get more into that, we did a WQIP grant in July 30th of 2021. We received that grant this past January. We received $1.62 million, and WQIP is Water Quality Improvement Program. And of that $1.26 million, the village has to put in a matching fund of $973,234, which is basically for every dollar you put in, you get $1.60 in return, which is a good return. With that, we redid our calculations for just doing the fine bubble diffusion and putting a coating system inside of the tanks. That came up to $2.2 million roughly. And based on the numbers I gave you a minute ago, the total that you could spend is $2.59 million. So you're a little bit under the amount of money that the state gave you with your WQIP grant and your matching funds. And that brings us to where we're at today. We did the seeker process. We have to do some other paperwork for the grant. We also have to tell the DEC that we're modifying the scope, because our original scope was to replace the tanks, which was for $5.62 million. So that brings us to where we're at today. Okay, so the coating system, we had a slide up on the workshop session, and we went through. So the tanks are in the process of being stressed, and they're in decline because they're the concrete surface, which is the top quarter inch, has degraded a little bit. You can see the aggregate. So we want to put a coating system on there to give it more life. We spoke to Anacon today, and just to confirm all the things that we've talked about in the past. And they basically said, the product we're giving you, we're guaranteeing a 10-year life out of it. And if anything goes wrong, they will replace it. So if the whole system failed, they would replace it, no cost to the village. Now, with that said, they said, well, it could last 10 years, it could last 15, it could last 20, it could last a lot longer than 10, but they're guaranteeing 10, minimum of 10.
That's pretty good.
So,
They didn't get to inspect the tanks.
so yeah, they didn't inspect them, but sight unseen, they're willing, they stand by they're willing to stand by their product just by the photos and the
Right.
information we gave them. And they were out there once before, but they didn't look at it that closely. But if they look, they're not backing down from that guarantee. So the Westchester County has a bid that they put out. Inside of that bid is the Anacon product. And they're going to use the city of Yonkers, which is a treatment plant, is a county-owned plant. They're going to use their product to coat their tanks for the same application we're using it for. Oh, it's well,
That's a big,
Yonkers.
Yonkers is a big
Is
plant.
a 140 million gallon
Oh,
a
wow.
day process. We're at 0.5, so
Yeah.
we're less than 1% of what they do. And the county's using not only that product, but several of products from that company. So
And the coating is what? What kind of a coating is that?
it's a cementitious coating,
Okay,
but it's a cementitious coating that's got chemicals added to it that make it chemical resistant. So they have a product line that they basically tailor it to the application. So they not only have one for sewage tanks, they have one for various other tanks, water lines, yeah, everything. So
Can we use that coating just to get away from the sewer plant for a minute because we have to, with the water inflow? Can we use that at all for the, yeah,
So right now they're under county bid and we just, or the village approved them to move forward with some cammering. They have some products that they use for the county that they will recommend to us after they do their cammering, which is in about 2 weeks.
okay, good.
So it might not be the product that we're using on the coating of a tank. It'll be something else that's tailored to that application.
And that might help with our our inflow.
Yes.
We might be able to, okay,
And they can, for the application of a pipe, they can apply it, spot apply it rather than line a whole pipe if they need to.
Oh.
So that's
Okay.
a benefit of saving. So if there's a joint that leaks, they line the joint or they inject the joint rather than not the entire pipe. So that's the cost
Okay.
Well, the majority of your leaks are there anyway.
Yes.
yeah, yeah.
And if the pipe was compromised, you replace the pipe.
Yeah.
So we're talking about two different things. We're talking about coating the sewer treatment plant, which is the original cement in early sixties, I want to say it was built.
Correct.
So that we can apply the new technology over at the fine bubble fusion. And then we're also talking about, we're under consent to also stop inflow into our sewer system. So the coating that we can use for the sewer treatment plant, there's also something similar to that, that could stop the inflow of water that comes into our sewer treatment plant also through our pipes.
Correct.
So, did I get that?
You got it. You got it. 100%.
Okay, so we're talking about both those things. Does any of the board have any questions about coating the sewer tank, the tank?
Is Anacon the contractor or did they manufacture it?
Both.
They do both.
Both?
Yeah, if you pull up their website, it's,
Do they apply it to as well? To
Yes.
the application?
And
And they do the cammering, they own the
Yes.
cammering system?
Yeah,
and-
Yep.
do everything.
Really?
They have their own engineers, they do everything from start.
they're based right out of Long Island.
They own one.
So not only is this product used
Mhm.
in Westchester County, Nassau
Yeah.
and Suffolk have piggyback clauses and contracts as well.
And this product is used in Japan. You go look at it certainly.
Yeah, it's used around the world
Mhm.
in various applications. So, or a variation thereof.
Anthony, also, they are responsible for the coating of the inside of the domes. Or domes.
Oh, really?
Yes, it's not our first involvement. In the village.
So they've been in business for quite a while.
Oh, many, many.
Yeah, he
Yeah,
said,
they do water main lining as well, correct?
yes.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay.
So, just want to make sure, so based on the information is George has to go back to the state to modify the scope of work. I just want to make sure everybody seems to be agreeable, but I want to make sure we're on the same page. So that way we can go back to WQIP and say we change the scope. Want to move forward with that, to have them approve it, so we got to stay and go out the contract. So I want to, how the board felt about that, so George knows what he has to do.
And so whether we move forward with that or it's not, yeah, it's not looking like the the IMA is gonna be resolved, so that's why we were going to Plan B.
Stephanie have any? Can we clarify the
Sure,
IMA tonight? Because I
absolutely.
really need to put that to bed if that's what
Okay.
we're doing. You're
I
doing.
thought we
Did
were
that have
put it
to
to
be an
bed.
exec
Go ahead.
session?
I
or-
wasn't here.
Yeah,
So about a month
Okay.
ago, I sent everybody, no, you don't have to.
okay, all right,
Unless you want
just,
something private, but this seems to me like a product that's in place of replacing the tanks. The IMA dealt with replacing tanks.
Correct.
So
Correct.
I just kind of want that on the record so I can go back to the town, although I've heard that they're pretty sure that the IMA is not happening. I'd like to be able to respond to the attorneys because they've written me and I don't like ignoring people.
And the DC's asking too.
And the
Okay.
DEC, yeah,
All
I
right.
told them I'd let them know as well.
all right,
So if we could just,
Mhm.
are we putting that to bed? Are
Absolutely.
we- Thank you.
Yep.
go forward. Go forward.
Yes.
Perfect, thank you.
Not our choice. Yeah, we tried.
Yeah.
We tried,
Good.
We tried, we waited, we did everything we could,
you know,
we have an alternative, and I think, George, thank you for the information. I think that's the way to go.
You did more than fair.
Absolutely.
absolutely.
So, just so everyone's aware, I'll just say it real quickly because we've been discussing this. There was a grant available through the Entergy money. And I want to make that clear. It was the Entergy money. Entergy left, $15 million for community and for environmental funding. The governor decided, we were supposed to get a huge chunk of that. But the governor decided last October that it would be split between the town of Cortland and the village of Buchanan for a joint project. So the only joint project we could do together was the sewer treatment plant. So the IMA is an intermunicipal agreement that we tried to work out with the town. And we would have gotten millions of dollars to do our plant over. The agreement would have been that the town of Cortland, we had given them X amount of gallons that they would be able to put into our sewer treatment plant. And the negotiations have failed. And so there's that $7 million still sitting out there. And I don't know what's going to happen to that yet. But the village of Buchanan, we just decided to move forward and not wait any longer. We'd like to upgrade the plant and to put in the new technology. And so we'll move forward with that. Unfortunately, it would have been a positive for both communities, for the town of Cortland and the village of Buchanan. But the village of Buchanan thank you, Stephanie. Stephanie wrote up the IMA. It was a fair, comprehensive agreement. And the town just couldn't bring themselves to sign it. So that's why we are where we are. Thanks, George. Do you have any other updates for us on anything else?
I don't.
Well-
I was gonna do it, you can do it. Retake.
So yes, we'll be, we met with the contractor last week or the week before to go over, with Consorti Brothers to go over the outstanding work from last year, because it got late in the season. We didn't want to compromise the product. So, we said, put it off to this year. We met with them last week. They're holding all their prices. They're coming back to do work. They didn't start this week because of the rain, but they'll be back to finish.
Okay.
And we're doing some curbs on, right outside of Village Hall, up Park, and milling and paving of Henry Street.
Okay.
So,
Yeah, from 4th Street down to Bannon,
Yes.
Tate Avenue area. Okay, good.
Correct.
Those neighbors will be happy. Yes. Everybody's always happy to get their roads paved. Okay, thank you, George. I just figured while
no problem.
you were with us here. Thanks.
Thanks. Thank you.
Any other
George.
questions for the engineer? Okay. All right, George, have a good night. Thank
Hey,
you.
George.
Good night.
Okay, at the last meeting, there was a discussion on battery storage at the Certainteed property, the sheetrock, the wallboard plant. I get corrected all the time. It's, I guess sheetrock is a name brand. Wallboard is what they produce there. So they came to the board, they did a presentation on what they wanted to do with battery storage on the Certainteed property in their parking lot. And the board had the opportunity, everyone had the opportunity to ask questions. There, there were also residents here. I personally feel that it's not something that's in the best interest of the village. When we decided, I think it was last year, we decided to go forward and to rezone the Indian Point property so that we could prepare for the future. We could prepare for the 60 acres north that we're working on getting released. So we just thought it was wise to start the process to do the rezoning. So the battery storage people came forward with an idea, and the original intent of rezoning that area along the river was to use the best and highest use. We have not had use of that property for many, many years. And looking at the LWRP, and Nick Zachary here is tonight, and he's been spearheading the the local waterfront revitalization program. We had gotten a joint grant with the town, and there were many interesting projects and different things that people wanted to see. Going back to, battery storage, going back to warehousing, going back to industrial was not on the list at all. So I just don't think putting battery storage close to our riverfront, close to a gas pipeline and close to a school is appropriate for our village. I think we can have a better use of that property. How do the other board members feel?
Well, I was on the fence with it a little bit. I do like to use the property to benefit the village as best as possible. But it is riverfront property and certainty it's 45 acres total. Which would, if it would ever become available to develop, if you were to put something like so in there, we wouldn't be able to do anything with it. It'd be useless to us. And if we rezone it, like we said, Marcus, it would then be rezoned for them to expand their battery storage. So then we'd be stuck with the battery storage. I mean, it is riverfront property. It is a beautiful piece of property, even though there is a gypsum plant there now. The numbers do benefit the village, but not enough for me to go in that direction. I feel that, if the numbers were better in favor of the village, being that we are facing a tax burden with energy close, and I think I would definitely go for something like that because it is a source of income revenue for the village, but it's just not enough for that piece of property. I just don't feel certain that that is the best use of that property.
And thank you, Anthony. The building is 1.5 acres.
Almost 1.6 acres, and based on the report that they provided, it'll be between $60,000 to $70,000
for the one building.
for 1.6 acre building.
Yeah, I'm in agreement with Anthony and Teresa on this. And, I also have safety concerns over there with one of these facilities going in. So I would have to say no.
Yeah, I'm in agreement as well. I just think the number is really too low for the impact that it could have long-term on the village. So because of that, I'm a no.
And so everyone knows this is the lithium batteries that can be very dangerous. So, what was it in Peekskill? 2 weeks ago, there was a lithium ion battery that went on fire. And it was over 2 hours and we're talking about a lawnmower battery, and it took hours for them to put that out. So I don't know. It's new technology. It would be going into the grid. I just don't see how it benefits the village. That's my thought.
Long term, I don't see it either.
No.
So.
All right. So that puts that discussion to the end.
I'll, if your board wishes to, I would let them know, because it's a zone
Yes.
text amendment, so you don't have to even entertain it, so I'll let
Okay.
them know tomorrow.
Okay,
That we're not entertaining.
Right.
right,
Thank
absolutely.
you.
Thank you.
Fair enough.
And now for the highlight of the evening. Let's see, Scott Horton. All right, Scott, you're here. Oh, he's gonna die. He's gonna kill me, but Scott, come up to the podium. He's probably saying that, Teresa, I'm gonna kill her. Oh, that's right. You should have brought your guitar.
You used to be in front of the mic.
Yeah, it's usually scripted.
So Scott, you have been a Village of Buchanan employee, how many years now?
Full-time 30.
Wow. So tonight we are going to be appointing Scott as our general foreman. So, and I'd like to get a picture of you and your father and also your wife and your family. So let me make the motion to appoint you. So I'd like to make a motion to appoint Scott Horton as general foreman at an annual salary of $116,603 starting September 7th of 2022.
Congratulations.
I gotta take, Marcus jumped the gun. Then I have a second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Yay. Congratulations, Scott. Thank you for taking the position. And if anybody has knowledge of the highway, it's Scott Horton. So Scott, hey,
The whole board?
no, I want,
Family?
let's family up.
Come on up.
Come on up. I'd like you guys to take a picture. Thank you. Come on, Johnny Horton. He's camera shy now?
Turn this way. One, this one.
Okay, good. Thanks.
Face this way, like, see them too big.
Yeah. Oh, boy.
Better looking than you. So let me-
Yeah. All the way back, that way I can get the board members, everybody together, big fan. Okay, Teresa, I can just see you. There we go.
on my tippy?
And we'll look at that, perfect, perfect, 1, 2,
Oh, wait.
what? Okay, 1, 2, 3, perfect, thank you.
All right, thank you. Congratulations.
Congratulations, Scott.
Sure you'll do a good job.
You've been doing a great job.
He has. Okay. Okay, thank you, Scott. And then I'd like to consider a motion to accept the resignation of Awilda Baez. Awilda Baez was on our planning board. And Awilda Baez is resigning over, she has some personal issues. But I'd like to take this moment now to thank Awilda Baez for her service to the Village of Buchanan on the planning board. On a motion to accept her resignation, can I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
And then because of that resignation, we have a vacant position on the planning board. It is my appointment. And I'd like to appoint Nicholas Zachary to the planning board effective September 7th, 2022 to fill the unexpired term ending April 6th, 2026 at an annual salary of $2,175. On a motion?
Second.
Second? I'm going to do it anyhow. I'm going to have the boards
Yeah.
involved. Yes.
Aye.
All in favor?
Aye.
And Nick, I know you'll do a good job. You have been very involved in the village, and I know you were a big proponent of the overlay district that we did pass for the Route 9A corridor, which really brings in interest from the developers. We need to do development. So and the good thing with you, Nick, you are up to speed. You know what the issues are, you know the codes, you know everything. So you are a perfect fit for the planning board. Yeah, no, but yeah, if we got somebody that wasn't involved at all, it would take them quite a while to come up to speed, because there's so much to learn. So thank you.
I didn't bring my family, but I can
Would you do that? Yeah, Scott would share. Thank you.
Thanks, Nick.
Let's see. Okay, and then also this evening, we had 2 labor positions open. So I'd like to make a motion now. We interviewed people, we've interviewed many people. We had a lot of applicants, a lot of qualified applicants. So it wasn't an easy decision to come to this. But I'd like to make a motion to hire at a rate of $45,000 contingent on passing all hiring requirements of the village. I'd like to make a motion to hire Kevin Murphy and Michael Giuliano. Can I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. And Scott, you have more new team members. The next is a motion to hire a part-time person in the clerk's office at $15 an hour, starting September 7th, 2022. Can you,
Sure, what I'd like to do is, there's money in the budget to hire part-time people, and I don't want to look at hiring a full-time, part-time person. I want to be able to float people around. So the idea is to authorize us to hire a part-time, like high school student or college student, whenever time allows. We have the person right now, Ashley Kempter, who actually is a high school student. She actually worked in the summer camp. She did a great job in the summer camp. She actually has some very good computer skills, and we tried her out a little bit. She knows Excel, she needs Word, she knows how to scan, and we're beginning to do the scanning for the building department. We bought the software.
Oh, good.
Start scanning that. And then she's gonna be working after school after 2, 3 o'clock for a couple hours. And then if she decides not to do it anymore, then maybe hire another high school kid. So there's a floater that we can keep on doing stuff like that. That's all.
Okay, so you have the new programming and you're working on, the building department's working on getting that together.
Yes. It's a large process.
Okay, so you need some support like scanning
Yes.
okay,
And we're doing it in the finance department too. Sharon and Cindy already started scanning a lot of records, but we have a lot of historical records.
oh,
They
yeah,
want to get on as well. So the idea is to
Okay.
try to get everything computerized or digitized. It also
okay.
makes the audit process a lot easier too. So that's what we're talking about.
Are we getting to the next century? Is that what
Oh,
you're
we're
trying to say?
getting- Yeah, Cindy and Sharon and Brian and Peter actually, we flagged a lot in the last 2 years.
Good, good.
Yeah.
Thank you all. Thank you. I know it's a lot of work. I mean, Cindy, what's like the oldest paperwork we have there must be what? 1928?
I was gonna say that.
Oh, my God. All right, good. Now that's good to organize and keep it together. Good, thank you. So on a motion, can I have a motion to hire the part-time person?
Second,
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. The next is a motion authorizing use of the pavilion serving of alcohol on September 10th. Did we get,
We
did I
got
see the insurance?
We- that-
Okay,
That's
okay.
taken care of. The
That's what I
insurance,
thought.
Everything's
all attached.
acceptable, ready to go.
Okay, good. I thought I saw when I was looking through the documents today.
Tom
It's,
Cavalier.
Who?
Tom Cavalier.
he rents every year, apparently, so.
Yep. yep.
That's
So,
Saturday?
It's Saturday.
yeah, this Saturday, September 10th. Yep. So on a motion to approve that,
Second,
all in favor?
Aye.
aye.
All right, thank you. And Nancy, you're still with us?
Yep.
We have a discussion on the Halloween party and ice skating rink. So
Right.
what do you have for us, Nancy?
Okay, I would like for the ice skating rink to be put up the week of the 24th, which is right before my Halloween parade, which I will have down at the pavilion. So, and that's, I believe, Saturday, the 29th. And my idea is to have the kids parade around the pavilion like we did last year. And then leave it open for free ice skating that day for anyone who comes in, resident or non-resident. And then we officially open it, I guess it would be Sunday at that point, for 3 days a week, Friday from 4 to 8, Saturday and Sunday from 12 to 4. From then on through, March, April, something like that. So that's what I would like. I think it'll advertise it and it'll bring in more people. I also think that we should charge after the 29th, $5 per person that ice skates that is not a resident. I feel we should still leave it free for the residents.
Yeah, I would hope that it would continue to stay free for the residents.
Yeah.
It's their skating rink, yeah.
I don't
Oh,
have a problem with that. Is there,
Yeah.
we have a waiver to sign? Also?
Yeah.
Yes, we have waivers to
Yeah.
sign.
Yeah,
So everybody coming in who skates, either the adult or the adult of the child, will sign the waivers. We keep that on file. And I'm cutting the hours a little shorter than last year, because last year we got most of our business in the Friday night and the 12 to 4, not the 4 to 8 on Saturday and Sunday. So if we get more business, if things start to increase and people start showing up more, then we can always talk about expanding the hours and things like that.
okay. Yeah, we can always adjust it. The board can make a decision to adjust the hours as
Yeah.
needed.
But I think that those are the hours we should start with. And I do believe I sent that in an email.
Yes. I just wanted you for the audience to review.
Yeah, sure.
You were asking for, sure. And the Halloween party is the Saturday before Halloween.
Correct. I think that's the 29th.
Okay.
It is
all
the 29th.
I
And
had
it's like
one
10:30. I'm not parading up and down the village streets anymore because it's too much stress and work that what if it rains? What if it snows? If we
Yeah.
have it at the pavilion, we're guaranteed to have it because it's under the cover.
Right. Okay.
I just had one quick question, Nancy. What are we doing as far as staffing for the position for the rink?
Okay, so Stuart is still interested in doing it, and then we can just go ahead and keep advertising for other people who want to come in and do it. Question is last year we made it 18 and older. Do I stick to that or do I do 17 and older? What
I
are
know
your
there's
thoughts?
somebody else that I think put an application in that's interested also, and they're over 18, so.
I think we gotta go to 17.
Yeah,
Think
I
so?
do
You're not
too.
gonna get any.
Okay.
high school
You're not
kids.
gonna get a high school kid,
Okay.
You need
right?
seniors to do work and.
Right.
there's not gonna be Seniors that are 18 yet, you know.
Right, I know. Even
Really? Thank
my
you.
seniors
Thank
that are
you.
only 16.
And that's last year you did the same thing and I didn't understand why you made it 18.
Yeah. I was adamant
17,
about
18.
18 because number one, I don't want anybody to be alone there.
Yeah,
Okay. And just because it's, I don't know, I just did. But 17 is good. I'm good with that.
All right.
So I'll start advertising for that if that's okay for you, with you guys.
Mhm.
Sure.
Great.
but while we have Scott here, do we need to discuss?
Scott, do you have any question on the rink? Since you want to come up to the mic? Yeah.
You're like a celebrity here.
I know,
Don't
I
get
know,
much out of
right?
you can.
I think that the question is, does that work for you, the time frame in which she's asking for the installation?
Together by that time?
Yeah,
Yeah,
The 24th is a Monday. So if you can get it together before that Friday, that would be really great. And once again, congratulations, Scoot. You really deserve this.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
I think should be able to get it together by
Okay.
the 24th. I mean.
Okay.
The week of, it doesn't have to be by the 24th. I would think starting
Just
Monday, the 24th.
Okay, it opens on the 24th or?
No, I just need it put together and
Has to
then
be ready by the
it'll open
29th.
the 29th.
Yeah, that, I don't see why not.
Okay.
All right.
there you go.
Sounds good.
All right.
Thank you.
Thanks, Scott.
All right. Thanks, Scoot.
Thanks, Nance.
You're welcome.
thank you, Nancy.
Thank you. Thank you.
So is the board okay with the use for the non-residents, $5? So we'll make sure we cover the bases so we can, with that something since his, want to make sure that maybe, I don't know if you want to adopt a motion to allow non-residents with that. We had an issue last year about that. So I don't know if you want to.
Correct.
About that, but with the code allow only residents. Remember, we had that issue last year about that discussion. So you might want to have a motion to allow non-residents to use for $5 per session.
And it would be only those who skate that we would charge the $5 for, not the people just coming into the pavilion.
Mhm.
Because they're just sitting there watching them. There's no
Right.
basketball available or anything else.
Right. Is that how, can we put that, because it's a code item, Steph?
How's the code written now?
Yeah,
I
the
have no
code is
idea.
written, yeah,
I have to look it up.
okay. So,
So if it's a, I can look it up real
I mean, you can make the motion. If the code doesn't speak to it, then the motion's void anyway. So you want to make a motion for non-resident skaters?
to be able to use the skating rink for a
For
fee of
$5.
$5.
Yeah, okay.
Right. And we do it with the pool and we do it with camp. So I don't see why there should be any issue with charging a non-resident to $5 just to come skating. And they're only there usually 30 to 45, maybe an hour at a time because, you know, that's all they can really do.
All right,
So you
So,
can make that motion?
I'm gonna make that motion. I'd like to make a motion for non-residents to be able to use the ice skating rink for a fee of $5. Can I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right,
Thank you.
Don't move. Anyhow, so the next is, I'm gonna have Marcus speak to this. One of our neighbors in Peekskill is having a big event, Nashkill. And I believe it's September 10th, right? It's this Saturday.
Saturday.
Yeah.
And they're requesting the use of the Lens Cove parking lot for overflow parking.
Correct. So I asked RJ, who's our insurance broker, to join us. And RJ, I don't want to get into more details. The idea tonight, RJ, is the board to approve this contingent on the insurance. I understand that you just received some documentation this evening from them. I don't think you have time to review it yet, but I don't want to get into that kind of detail right now. But the hopes are that maybe tomorrow, me, you and Dan, who you see on the board here, he's also an insurance person who has insurance experience. Very good. Maybe we can have a brief discussion tomorrow, go through what they provided you, and then come back to the village board afterwards in regards to what are the exceptions or limitations, and see if the board's willing to go in that direction.
Okay, yes, actually, I did get an email as recently as 5/20 from their insurance broker. In essence, we're working on 3 items, 3 separate insurance companies. One of them may be acceptable to meet the insurance requirements of the village. So I am hopeful that the third option they're coming up with would do the trick.
All right, good. So we can have a discussion tomorrow. If it doesn't, then we can have a discussion. The board is going to approve this one contingent on insurance, and then we can have further discussion the rest of the week and hopefully resolve this before the event.
Very good.
Thank
Would you like me to stay on? Am I dismissed? Can I answer any questions?
Can I
Go
just
ahead.
ask, is this applicant or this person, is he asking to use this exclusive from the public? Because my concern is what would be the difference from somebody else parking in this parking lot opposed to, why are we asking this
Okay.
individual? to
Yeah,
provide
RJ, why don't you
insurance?
touch the difference between somebody going down in the park on a Saturday versus this event?
Sure, 2 items. One, we know the event has alcohol. And we know there's more than a couple of people. So I've been to the park, several times. It's a wonderful park. Depending on the time of day or night, you can have a handful of people. So the risk is very low. And the chances of those handful of people actually drinking is minimal. When you have a larger event, it's in a concert where there's alcohol, and there's more people than a handful of people. From an insurance point of view, it increases the risk of a claim.
But is this individual asking the village for exclusive use of that parking lot? Or is he simply asking the village to leave that parking lot open in the event that someone may need to park there?
Yeah, I couldn't answer that question. I don't deal with the applicant on that question.
Well, I think Marcus knows the answer to that question, and could you answer that?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear. I was talking to Stephanie.
Is the applicant asking for exclusive use of this parking lot from the village? Or is he simply asking the village to leave this open as it would be open any other night?
It's a good point. He's asking for overflow parking, which means anybody will be able to park there. And yeah, absolutely.
So
It's open to
tomorrow
everybody.
night-
We close
Everybody.
at dusk. We
Right.
normally close at dusk.
It closes
The park-
at dusk.
all the
It
parks
is
are
closed at
closed, Yeah.
So he's asking to leave it open.
If it's after
After
dusk, then
dusk.
yeah, well, normally we gate it at dusk. So after that, it'll be his event.
Because any random person come from any bar drunk and do the same
Correct.
thing that they would do on Saturday night, which this makes me hard to understand why this has
Well,
been.
I think the issue that RJ is saying is that we know that the event, it's not like a random person comes, drinks at the bar, goes there and parks and falls down.
Yeah.
The difference is that we know we're being asked for permission. We're leaving we're leaving the gates open after dusk, and we know there's drinking involved. So the issue is somebody does happen, and we get sued. Their first thing they'll say, did you know people were drinking? Did you leave the
But
gate
wouldn't
open
there-
after dusk?
Wouldn't his liability that covers him, couldn't he umbrella that over our parking lot as well?
But that's the problem. We didn't get the information until 5:30 this afternoon.
Yeah.
Well, did we get the certificate of insurance is the question?
No,
So we didn't get the certificate of insurance.
correct.
So you need the certificate of
That's what
insurance.
we haven't received it. 5:30 is the first time we got in.
We also know that one of their quotes has exclusions on it, because again, dealing with insurance, it's a contract. So I serve the village and I serve at your pleasure. But I do take the job very seriously of protecting the village from, risk and exposure based on my, 20 years of experience insuring municipalities. We know from their policy, one of the 3 options, there's 4 separate alcohol exclusions on their policy. We know that there's a firearms exclusion on their policy. We also know, what's the other item here? Assault and battery. And the definition of an assault and battery for insurance is pretty much anything. It could be a push, could be a look. Anything is included in assault and battery. So we know that for those 4 items, that their policy would exclude any coverage, which means the full brunt of the claim would be borne by the village's insurance policy, which coupled with that, the village insurance premium relative to other municipalities, thankfully is lower than others, but the issue comes in with a big claim. Underwriters often will not renew an insurance policy on renewal if there's a large claim. or at the very least, increase the premiums by a dramatic amount. Now, we represent many different insurance companies. We certainly go to other insurance companies and negotiate and quote. But part of my responsibility is to, in essence, advise the village, what if?
That's what insurance is all about. It's different, like you say, you didn't know anybody was gonna go on it, and that happens versus you actually gave permission.
It's hard to believe that somebody who operates a bar and restaurant and holds a liquor license does not have, has a liquor or alcohol exclusion in his policy. So I don't know whether this is.
Well, that's on the premises, normally. So
Well, he said the liquor liability today. I saw the email.
Right.
Liquor liability was connected to that email.
Mhm.
And as from what I can see that, he offered the same insurance to Bertolini's, which is also offering overflow parking to him, and they are covered under that as well. And he's asking for the same thing from us, but he excluded firearms and whatever else, and
Liquor and assault.
assault battery. And I mean, we're just, I don't understand why we're asking for so much.
Yeah,
I mean, premium, it's a big number. It really is he may park one car there that night, one car, and we're asking for him to put up a big amount of money for that. He's just asking for overflow parking. I don't understand why we just can't
I think
allow that.
Yeah, I think the issue is that, I think what RJ and I'm saying to you is, you're allowing to happen, it's after dusk, something happens, the liability will fall on us if something happens. If the board believes that the liability is very minimal, then we just do it. But if something happens, I want to be knowledgeable that it could be a big claim. That's all it is.
But these events happen on a nightly basis all over the county,
Right.
where they are accepted with minimal insurance costs. And I feel like we're obstructing him to kind of use this as a friendly gesture to the city of Peekskill as well, because he's a well-known man in the city of Peekskill. And I think he's doing the right thing by giving us the liability coverage that we need. I think we're just overdoing it with the excessive insurance.
It's an event in a neighboring, municipality that a lot of village residents probably attend. And to see this lot locked up as it was last year, I just feel is unfortunate.
The issue is Berlin is a different target than the village of Buchanan for lawsuit. That's the issue that you're taking on. And I haven't seen Berlini's.
But I believe the city of Peekskill also have parking on John Walsh Boulevard, which falls in their responsibility as well.
China
If
Pier.
it's on street parking.
Yeah, there's gonna be. I'm sure if we don't allow them to park there, they're gonna park on John Walsh Boulevard.
Or Charles Point.
It's the same thing.
They're
I
gonna
mean,
park at Charles Point.
it's the insurance, the insurance is the same.
Right, yep.
And every car that parks in the lot is gonna be insured.
Right. So I think what I want to do is see what the documentation just came in at 5:30. As RJ said, he's going to be looking at one of the options. If it meets, great. If it doesn't, we'll talk to Dan tomorrow, go through everything, and then.
I think we can figure this out.
Yeah, I think so.
I think we can
Yeah.
figure this out.
Yeah, I think it'll be done. It just board has to accept.
No, I just
whatever.
wanted the specifics out there to
Yeah.
the public. This way we
No,
know.
good idea. Yeah.
But I think we'll figure this out before the event happens.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
Yep.
Yes.
A motion. Yep, a motion to use a Lens Cove parking lot for the Nashville event for overflowing parking contingent on proper insurance.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay.
RJ, don't leave yet, but maybe we want to discuss the Little League, we are quite in the Little League too.
Sure.
So we received a request from the Cortland National Little League. This is their 12U travel team. We have submitted a bid to play at Cooperstown All-Star Village in 2023. In order for our team to make this trip, we are beginning to fundraise to offset the cost, which will be approximately $25,000. Most of the team resides in the village of Buchanan. And so what they would like to do is host a cornhole tournament at the Buchanan Pavilion. Can I be your partner at the cornhole?
good.
Okay. I have submitted a facility use. I don't know if October 15th, I'm sorry, I let Nancy off before. I believe Scott also said the 15th is not available. So we're gonna have to figure out what the day is.
Yep.
Along with playing cornhole, music and raffles, we'll be selling food, non-alcoholic beverages and snacks. Alcohol will be served, however, it will be by donation only. So I'm not sure what that means. As you can appreciate, making every penny, us making every penny of our efforts count. We'd like to ask the rental fee be waived, of course, and that's what we do when it's an organization. We don't charge them. And they do understand the league will be responsible for insurance rider and whatever fee that may incur. So this was regards Becky Ferguson. So they are planning a fundraising event. So I guess we'll be working with you, RJ. They have different events that they'll be having. And we always try to work with the Little League. You know, they use our fields, and whatever we can do to help them, we do. And I'd love to
Understood.
see these kids go to that 25,000. I think the community can raise that. I think they'll support them.
Yeah, I certainly understand the importance of it. I had emailed Rachel at 12:56. In essence, the thrust of it was maybe if you can give me the certificate of insurance that your standard certificate we already have, maybe you already have the coverages. So I have yet to hear from her.
Okay. All right, so we'll work on that.
They provided a certificate of insurance for use of the field, correct?
Yes, that was.
I know, I
sometime-
believe
that
they
was
have-
some time ago. so
I
we
think they have
had-
additional coverage for the travel
look,
program, but
Well, they're serving alcohol, so, any.
that could be
the
a,
Use of the field was just use of the field. This is actually the use of alcohol and use of the pavilion. So this certificate has to just be updated.
And this will be 12 to 10 when the date gets chosen.
So 12 p.m. So the neighbors know to be open at 12 p.m.
Okay, good. And another thing, while I'm discussing that. What do you mean? What are we
We're
saying?
serving alcohol here. What
Yeah.
is the difference of what we just discussed?
Yeah, we just approved, they would have to have the insurance rider
sure,
for
right.
for
I
the
understand, but
alcohol.
the rider for that
Oh,
is the
it's
gonna be
same
the
as the
same.
rider for the other event.
No, actually, it's.
Still
if I-
using village property.
If I could add, there's two separate things. This particular one, they're talking about selling alcohol on the village property. For insurance purposes, when you sell
We're not
alcohol.
selling alcohol.
Nobody's
We're
selling.
donating alcohol.
They can't sell the alcohol.
No,
It's not,
They
it's
don't have a
They'll be
liquor
not
license.
a license for it.
They'll be
Yeah.
consuming alcohol.
So it seems like the donation, I know the mayor pointed out earlier, in the application, they said that for donation, meaning money, they can give out alcohol. The world of insurance, they'll count that as selling. It's money for alcohol. That's what the insurance companies would look at it as.
I'm just, just the way this is worded, I think I need clarification. Alcohol will be served, however, it will be by donation only.
I don't
So
know what that.
you could, that's what I'm saying. I need clarification on that.
Yeah.
So is it that
Require
somebody's
license.
going to donate it and then people will drink it? Or is somebody gonna donate it and then you have to pay for it? I don't know. So I just, you know what I mean? I looked at that a couple of different ways, that's all.
Hmm.
I wasn't sure how to read. it.
Arthur, we can look at it as consumption of alcohol, not selling.
It's a party
Right.
with alcohol.
It's a party.
They don't need a
Much-
liquor license.
much like the
Not
event that
selling.
we approved
For
for
the.
Cavalieri on
Yeah.
the
Right.
Saturday.
Right, so as long as they match that insurance, we
Right.
should be good to go, exactly.
Okay.
The one we just did, yes.
So Marcus, because this is sometime in October, we could also do this at the October meeting.
No, we'll do it now.
We'll do it
If you
now.
want to do it now, get over it.
That-
forget the
Yeah,
insurance
that's
done,
fine. I mean, I'm
but
I'm
We
sure,
have to
we're-
bring it up again.
yeah, we all wanna
So make a
support.
resolution based upon what Stephanie just said on the last one with the contingent on.
Contingent on
Insurance.
proper
Yeah.
insurance.
So I'd like to make a motion to approve the use of the pavilion. We don't have the date. I believe it's gonna be October 22nd, for the use of, for the pavilion for the Cortland National Little League for a fundraiser.
Second,
Second.
Contingent on
proper.
the insurance, on proper insurance.
Aye.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, RJ.
You're welcome. Have a good
Thank
night,
you,
everyone.
And you know what, I also do want to mention, I mentioned once before, they were talking about, our building department is here. They were talking about having some type of a building or something near the field so that they could sell snacks and things like that. I know we had looked into what we have at the pavilion now, that Entergy, well, Poltech gave us that building, which would have been perfect, but they didn't have any more of those buildings. So they are looking to do some type of a snack stand somehow. So I just
Okay.
wanted to, keep that in the forefront of the board.
Great.
Okay, Information from officers and departments, Justice Court reports. July 2022, the amounts, $425 and 5,409. Police report received and filed July 2022. Highway report, July 2022, received and filed. You know, I usually like to give a little bit of numbers here. Where did you go? Oh, my goodness. There you are. Okay. Household garbage, almost 70 tons. Dumpsters and bulk, 18 tons. Dumpsters only, almost 13 tons. E-waste, 18 TVs, 3 monitors. Chipping, 39 yards. So I'd like to kind of always give an overview of what's going on there. Wastewater plant for July 2022, 6,800,000 gallons treated, sludge removed, as George said, 85,000 gallons. Okay, those reports all have been good. Prosecutor's report, August 2022, received and filed. Buchanan engine. Where are we? Buchanan engine, 1 structure fire, 2 EMS assist, other emergency 1, mutual aid 6, total of 10 calls, received and filed. Planning board. Minutes of July 2022. We also have the building department report. Thank you very much. I can see you gentlemen have been very busy. No, very busy. My gosh, this is, yeah. All right, thank you. Received and filed. Okay, attorney's reports, Attorney
real quick.
Stephanie, sure.
Very quickly, the accessory apartments, I know that trustee Murray had suggested a code amendment. And I don't know whether you guys were on the email chain, but the planning board and zoning board members are having, was everybody on that before I start this? So you all know there's a joint meeting?
Mhm.
Okay. On the 14th.
Yeah.
All right, just wanted you to know so that you would not move this forward before they get a chance to meet and
No,
report back to
absolutely.
you.
Yeah, no, we need
So-
to have that discussion and,
Right,
and
I
their
wasn't sure
input.
you were on it.
Okay, yeah. So I will be attending that meeting on the 14th to see what that conversation is too. And any board members that would like to go.
And they have the comments from the building
Mhm.
department as well,
Mhm.
both the planning board members.
Will the building department be there on the 14th? Okay.
Good.
All right, that'll be
Good,
great.
so then
Thank
that
you.
should
So we
make it-
can have a constructive conversation on that. Good.
Because I had heard maybe you were going to schedule a public hearing because I wasn't at the last meeting and I didn't want you to do that until.
No, oh, absolutely
'cause
not.
everybody's
No, no.
gonna- Okay,
All
We
right.
needed you here. for that. Right? We needed you here for that, to give us the overview on it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It'd be nice to have our attorney present also.
Yeah.
Can I?
Thank you.
Well, they haven't met yet. And the only other thing I had was the IMA clarification and you folks have clarified that for me and I'm thankful for that. So that's all I have. And I don't have anything for executive.
Okay, all right, good.
The 14th, what time is that meeting?
7 o'clock.
Okay.
Okay.
Didn't hear, right?
Yes.
Administrators report?
Some somewhat good news. I've applied for the cessation funding from the state. I just got confirmation the amounts are correct that I calculated, which we should be receiving $1,953,062.60. Their board is meeting on the 15th of September. Hopefully after that, they'll approve it and we'll get that money for that.
Okay.
The other somewhat good news, again, these grants take so long.
They do.
Horton, you work with Horton about a grant, $100,000 for the sealing of the manholes that we have to require
Yes.
for the DC requirements. We've been working with the state for about a year on that. I actually got a confirmation today that they've approved the contracts. They actually
good.
sent me the stuff that electronically signed today, so that'll be $100,000 coming in to help actually seal the manholes that we were.
What we were talking about with the INI that
Correct.
we're under consent.
Correct, so I have
Good.
100,000 for that, and then the federal money they received was $200,000.
Right.
They also agreed to use that for the manholes themselves, and then if we get that together, we'll actually be way ahead of the curve that we require from DEC. and actually creates goodwill with the DEC that will move forward with their consent order. So, the good news, those things will move forward. So that's all I have for today.
Thank you.
Thank you, Marcus.
Thank you.
I gotta prove it. We're gonna go.
And you forgot something else.
Oh, no.
You forgot something else. The board knows that we purchased an electric vehicle.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
And it's sitting out in the lot. So it's the village's first electrical vehicle, and we still have to work on the charger situation,
Yeah,
but
You didn't lose the charger.
so we got that, and we're gonna either use it for the building department or the highway department. What we want to start eliminating is the use of the bucket truck as an everyday vehicle.
Oh, I just got about that already.
So, yeah. But I mean, I know, Scott, it was like, you need a vehicle, you know? So I'm not sure which vehicle is going where, but the good thing is there was a grant that was available for $7,500. The grant ended the end of August, but they extended it another 30 days. So we'll be Marcus will be submitting the grant for that. So, so, that we got the price, the car for an extremely reasonable price.
Correct.
So,
Oh, good.
and who gets to drive it first?
We'll be building the park.
Oh, okay.
That was me.
Okay, now I know where that's going. So Scott has a new vehicle to scoot, as they say, scoot around the village. All right, thank you. And Scott, I'm sorry, I didn't realize you were still here. You said October 15th, when the Portland National Little League wanted to use, is already taken.
They gave three days, the first two are games
Oh,
until October 22nd. The only one that was-
okay, so it'll be October 22nd. All right, thanks, Scott. All right, let's see, trustees report. Trustee Laker, what do you have
Thank you,
for us?
Mayor. Just to wish best of luck to all the children that went back to school today and remind everybody, pay attention with all the buses on the road. My mom, who recently retired from the district as a bus driver, has many stories of people going through the stop signs. So please just be mindful of that. I thank the police department for their presence. I heard that they were out today, and as they are every day, monitoring traffic. So thank you guys. And the beautification committee, I know they have their annual mum sale Friday and Saturday, so please support them. They do a great job. And lastly, just this Sunday, September 11th, please say a prayer for those that have, were lost that tragic day 21 years ago. And that is all.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
And to follow through on September 11th, every year, it's a it's the three municipalities, Buchanan, Croton, and the town of Portland have a ceremony at Croton Landing. And it'll be this Sunday at 1 o'clock at the Croton Landing. 21, it doesn't seem possible, 21 years, but. All right, thanks, Steve, for bringing that up.
No problem.
Okay, trustee Dan.
I just want to say congratulations to Scott. I wish you all the best. I think we've
Yes.
made a very good move. And I'm also glad that we were able to come to some kind of resolution for the sewer plant, other than having to rely on the IMA. So we're moving in a positive direction. And that's about all I had to say. Thank you.
Thanks, Dan. Trustee Capacati, what do you have for us this evening?
Well, I'll start off by, thanking Scott for stepping up and taking the job. Congratulations. I know he'll do a great job. What else? Nick, welcome back, Nick. I know he'll do a great job. I mean, from the little bit of time I spent with Nick, I know he was really invested in that. Zoning planning, he's very good at it, and I learned some from him. So I'm glad that you came on. Take on future development for our village. To touch on what Danny said, I want to thank George for coming up with that plan, because the disappointment of the IMA. For all the work that Stephanie did to come up with this disappointment is just, it's ridiculous. It really is. It was something that was great for Montrose and Buchanan, and to not be able to negotiate or come to terms It just seems like it's ridiculous. And hopefully if this comes up again in the future, the town and the village can make something work. I mean, it just didn't work out right, and no point any fingers. I just think it was a big disappointment for both villages and Montrose. Marcus, the polls on Lindsay Avenue. You know, I was pulling out of your street today onto Albany Post Road. There's 2 poles there now, and one is blocking.
Yeah.
You can't see because there's 2 poles there, and you just can't see making the left out of there. I'd like to get an answer when they're going to remove these poles. It's been like 2-3 years now. These poles have been standing there. The piles of dirt that they left when they dug up the new poles are still there. There's brick and rock. I mean, an answer on that would be good. What else? Oh, the blacktopping starts this week. Everybody be mindful of the construction workers. You know, that's what I do. I like to make sure they stay safe. And don't forget 9/11. Everybody remembers where you were, and just, you know, take a minute to stop and think about, you know, what was given that day. So that's all I have.
All right, thank you. I also want to mention that Buchanan Day this year is on October 1st. It will start at 3 o'clock. The entertainment this year is the Hillbilly Parade Band. Also what we do is the police department will be giving out ice cream, and our fire department will be cooking up the dogs and the burgers. So please come out. It's a great event for the community. Also, my gosh, the decommissioning process. I really would like people to get more and more involved in these state decommissioning oversight board meetings. The next one is on September 22nd. We're working on, you know, the school, the village, we're working on having monitoring done in the area so that when the plant is being decommissioned, the buildings are coming down, it monitors the air and different things. There's been misinformation that's gone out. There's been a lot of questions. And I think if people will tune into that September 22nd meeting, I know people were disappointed that wasn't installed before school started. But the domes the domes don't come down for another 10 years. So, but there are going to be other buildings, things like right now, Peter, most of the buildings have been like the metal buildings, and they've done very small structures that don't produce anything. So I don't want everyone to panic. Just be patient. The monitoring will also, there'll be some installed in the village, at the school. Originally it was for the school. I asked for us to have some monitoring. Remember, we have people that live outside of the original entrance to Unit 1 there. So we're working, the goal was to make the decommissioning safe and the reuse of the property. So nobody is ignoring that fact. The village and the building department are working with the DEC to incorporate some of their rulings into the demolition permits. So it's not, we are aware, we are on top of it. And Peter, I don't know if you want to mention anything else on that subject?
We've been working very closely with Holtec and everyone, and they've been very compliant. And everything they've done up to this point has been above par.
Good.
We have no issues with it.
Good. And we're going to keep it that way. Yep, good. All right, that's all I have this evening. Any comments from the floor? Okay. Come on up, Nick. Up, and Eileen.
Oh, Eileen was ready.
Nick beat you to it, Eileen, sorry.
Did I beat you to it? Did I beat you to it? That's a competition then. Thanks. A couple of thoughts I had. One is when you were talking about the overflow parking, you know, with that park always closing at dusk, I could not think what kind of lighting we have over there. Do we have adequate lighting there especially given a lot of the irregular surfaces there, and
Yeah.
the settling of that paved area. Is the lighting adequate there if they're parking there at night and walking? No matter who, no matter, of course, the village has to
I did ask him about. supplying
eliminate its liability,
temporary
but,
lighting. We should. No, I already talked to him about that, and I believe that was already discussed.
Okay.
Adding
so
temporary
anyway, I
lighting.
just had that thought,
Yeah.
so.
Oh,
Good.
something that has the
It's the generator.
the generator. Yeah, because we have lighting, but it's expensive and it doesn't work anymore. Well, so there you go.
No, we
So-
we discussed that.
Okay,
So
good,
they're getting portable light.
good, wonderful.
Yeah, temporary lighting is gonna be installed.
Okay.
Good.
And I also was thinking when you were talking about having the fundraiser there for the Little League, I think it was. The wording, I think, is what you have to be careful with, because in the same way that we give people that use the pavilion, can give them permission to use alcohol, to serve alcohol. You could do that with that group, but the word donation should be separated. I mean, that's the big thing. If you want to serve alcohol, fine. If you want to have a fundraiser, fine. But don't relate the wording of those two things. Don't make anything in the wording should not say that getting a free drink
No, I
is
think
dependent on a
we should go back to the
Yeah,
Little League and
there's-
ask them
No,
to
that's-
clarify
Separate
that.
that, separate that
What-
wording.
We just to let you know, the application that they filed for says alcohol served, yes, so that's what we use.
Yes, but
Go from
the,
there.
when the mayor read
I know.
the thing that said, that alcohol, but it'll be by donation only. I think that's a bad choice of words. Anyway, just a thought. And the last thing I want to say to the board, I think you made the right decision regarding the battery storage. Another thought that I had was that, it's major industry used to be common all through the Hudson Valley. It's not anymore. It just could be a matter of time before sheetrock plant ups and says, we could do this a lot cheaper somewhere else. And so far, it has stayed and switched hands, but should they leave and the battery storage was there, they would have a very easy route to an enlarged battery storage facility. So I think you all made the right decision there. Thanks.
Thanks,
right,
Nick.
thank you,
Thanks, Nick.
That's what sold me on it.
Yep.
Good evening, everybody. I concur with Nick and everybody else that the decision on that battery storage was correct. My theory is follow the money. Why would Teed agree to this? It didn't make any sense unless they're in financial trouble, dust trouble, and whatever else may be down the pike for them. It's, if they can stay in business, hopefully they can, but if they can't, that battery thing was really terrible. But I had a question for Dan. What did they give as the excuse they couldn't go across the street to the cemetery and the power lines?
It's just that Con Ed was not gonna cooperate with that piece of property, was my understanding.
Yeah.
Holtec wasn't releasing that property.
Right, or Holtec, I'm sorry.
Holtec and then
Or
and
or-
and the
that's-
switchyard,
yeah.
they have a lot of acreage, but I think they have other plans, Con Ed too. That's another,
But
Okay,
that's what
is
we
that-
were told by
Yeah.
the gentleman.
Okay. I'm trying to project into this microphone, but you guys really have to speak directly into that little knob there, Stephanie, even Marcus.
See,
George was-
I've learned, by
George
it.
was-
See, I always move mine in now because I was always being told that nobody could hear me.
Right, we'll tell you if you're too loud,
Test.
right, Nick?
Yeah, everybody
Yes,
says that.
I've had numerous complaints now that they have had to turn their volume all the way up to be able to even try to understand that. And the gentleman from Jupiter, aside from the accent, you couldn't hear him at all. He was very soft.
Yeah.
The fireman, he was a little better, but the other guy wasn't. Dan, you also made a comment at the workshop about the timing of the rental or the pavilion, and nobody said anything. So this,
My main concern, I think, is going forward is when it's on a Sunday night,
okay,
okay, and going past, 8 or 9 o'clock on a Sunday night, when people are trying to get their kids ready for school, get ready to get back into their work week. I think, 10 o'clock, and in this instance, it was well past 10 o'clock
Yeah.
before they finally got them out of there. Okay,
And then let them back.
matter of fact, on your application, we leave it blank. And they can put their hours of what they want the party to run to and from. That shouldn't be. We should have a drop dead time as to, when it can start and when it can end, and
What is the time on Saturday?
10. This one that just got
Oh, yeah, no, I just wondered
10.
if it's left open.
It's
No,
blank.
we have
So I think
to-
moving forward, we should have set times.
It's a policy.
Depending on the day.
Policy change
Well,
for there.
I could hear a real big band going down past me on Tate Avenue. I could not hear the one that was on the other side of me, that was on Henry, but the police were called.
Mhm.
They did make an appearance and they did turn it down. That was about 10 o'clock.
Right.
On a Saturday night. So, but I could hear the one, I don't even know where it was coming from because I can hear it from Cortland Yacht Club,
It could have been.
but I don't think it was there.
Yeah.
It was, you could hear that distance, but this was closer to on Tate
But I
Avenue,
think too, what happens when there's a function at the pavilion,
right?
the sound just, it resonates, it carries because it's under an enclosed structure and everything just seems to carry.
Yeah,
So,
well,
but my main concern was, it was a Sunday night
Right,
and this thing was going on well past 11 o'clock.
Yeah,
okay.
that's-
My other question was regarding the overflow of parking. Are they busing? Nobody said anything. They're
Oh, they're gonna
busing,
bus?
aren't they?
Oh, because I thought they were gonna park. It's not that long of a distance for them to
I
walk.
believe he was offering, some. kind of
Because if you're
transportation.
you're busing maybe more than two people.
Mhm.
So that was when, you question, the insurance in question was how many people. It's just one car, two cars, that's one thing, but if you're gonna bus 20 people back to a parking lot who have been drinking,
Yeah.
that was my
I think they were
question.
utilizing Charles Point parking lot too, weren't they? And I think
Yes.
Busing from there as well as.
What is this shindig going on?
It's Saturday night. It's a country, it's called Nashville.
Oh, I saw Nashville
It's a
advertised
country,
Free concert.
Nashville Peace Guild.
in Riverfront.
No, at the, what is it called?
At-
River
Right,
Output.
the old,
River Output.
the old Crystal Bay.
Crystal Bay.
Oh. Okay,
All right, well, now we know.
okay.
The old Crystal Bay, actually.
Congratulations, Scott. Welcome back, Nick. You may go back to the 60s with Cotter,
All
but it'll be fun. And that's it. Thank you very much.
right,
Thank
thank
you,
you.
Eileen.
Any other comments from the floor? And congratulations, Scott. We all look forward to working with you. Okay, no other comments? I'd like to make a motion to close the meeting. Could I have a second?
Second.
All in favor? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you. Have a great Buchanan day. Hey, are you good for Thursday at 6? For those people?